The incident that happened at the Two Pines wedding chapel that put this whole gory story into motion has since become legend.
Volume 1 is the questions, Volume 2 is the answers.
You and I have unfinished business.
Movies are actually very different from each other, so it's actually kind of cool. Explaining them happen kind of validates it.
So it all suddenly seems so clear.
I walk down the street and it's almost become like a hello. It's like people see me on the street and they go, "Hey, when's Volume 2 coming out?" Oh, February, wasn't it? No, it's gonna be April. Well, why so long? We're making it, dude.
I've killed a hell of a lot of people to get to this point, and I am gonna kill Bill.
The first movie sets up the mythology of that this whole tale will take place in. Some people have said, "Oh, there's not so much story." Well, it's a revenge story. What more story do you need? All right, 5 people did something bad to this person, and now she's gonna make them pay. All right, and she's got the list of 5 names on it, and she's going down it. All right. There's not much more story. I mean, I could come up with some other crap that would be subterfuge, all right? But no, I hate that in movies. Let's get rid of the crap and let's just have the confidence to, tell a revenge movie, all right? The first one is just straight ahead like that. And what it is teaching you while it's going on this forward momentum of revenge story is you're learning the mythology about these characters and the world that this movie takes place in. The second movie, now you've got the world. Now you've got the setup. You've got the idea of the story. All right? And now you get to know the characters.
When will I see you again?
That's the title of my favorite soul song of the 70s.
What?
Nothing. When he tells me you're done.
When do you think that might be?
That, my dearest, depends entirely on you. Now remember, no sarcasm, no backtalk. At least not for the first year or so. You're gonna have to let him warm up to you. He hates Caucasians, despises Americans, and has nothing but contempt for women. So in your case, it might take a little while.
It's different in that, well, actually, to me, I mean, the majority of the story is really in Kill Bill 2. Kill Bill 1 is sort of like a fantastic, operatic, hysterical, wild fight sequence with a few scenes, and Lucy goes down and Vivica Fox goes down. But Volume 2 really has in it the unfolding of the bride's story and how it all happened, and Michael Madsen, who's magical in it, and a hysterical battle with my arch nemesis, the California mountain snake, Daryl Hannah, and of course, finally, this sort of incredibly intense confrontation.
There's still a lot of action in it, but not as much of a body count,
You're telling me she cut her way through 88 bodyguards before she got to Orin?
No, there wasn't really 88 of them. They just called themselves the Crazy 88.
How come?
I don't know. I guess they thought it sounded cool. Anyhow, they all fell under her Hanzo sword.
She's got a Hanzo sword?
He made one for her.
Didn't he swear a blood oath to never make another sword?
It would appear he has broken it.
Now you know the mythology. When they refer to a Hattori Hanzo sword, you know what that is. You know how important it is. You know who Hattori Hanzo is. You know that it's a big deal, all right? When they refer to the Crazy 88 and Oren, you know who that is. You know what's happened. You know that this woman's fought a war.
The essence of a Tarantino movie is not the violence, not the action. It's the inside look at the mind and the heart of violent people.
All the people that thought that Uma just really like raised the bar and kick serious ass as the bride, just, you ain't seen nothing yet.
I've never seen anybody work as hard as she worked in the workouts and in the picture. I mean, this has got to be the hardest picture that anybody has ever done. And she's just a trooper through it all.
In Kill Bill 2, you know, the bride has to really fight to survive.
Hello, can I help you?
Hello, I'm Karen Kim. I'm the hospitality manager of the hotel. I have a welcome gift from the management.
Oh, that's nice. Can you just leave it by the door? You pretty good with that shotgun?
Not that I have to be at this range.
Well, guess what? I'm better than Annie Oakley, and I got you right in my sight. So let's talk. Karen, I just found out right now, not a moment before you blew a hole through the door, that I'm pregnant.
What is this?
On the floor by the door is a strip that says I'm pregnant.
Bull.
Any other time, you'd be 100% right. But this time, you're 100% wrong. I'm the deadliest woman in the world. But right now, I'm just scared of my baby. Please. Just look at the strip.
It's important to me to watch someone who loses and fights to play again. That's what moves me. And this character is like that in spades. And that's life, you know? I mean, this is a total fantasy, mad movie, but there's something of that kind of courage and bravery at the center of this character. And that's what I find most compelling about it.
I'm really proud of Michael Madsen's character work in this movie. You know, it's like we haven't worked together since Reservoir Dogs.
It's been 10 years since Reservoir Dogs, and I think there's a lot of anticipation about us working together again.
Michael, the shot looks like you're in an Anthony Mann movie, man. It's really cool. I think my fans have been waiting for me to, you know, do something with Michael. Michael's considered one of my actors.
It's kind of like we never really lost touch with each other.
It was neat, though, to really take Michael to a further place, you know, because, like, you know, Michael's like just the king of being cool in movies and stuff. And it was great stripping that away and giving him this character that's, like, you know, quite complex, actually, you know. You feel strange emotions for them. There's aspects about his character that he's kind of one of the most sympathetic people in the movie.
She is coming, and she's coming to kill you. And unless you accept my assistance, I have no doubt she will succeed.
I don't dodge guilt, and I don't get out of paying my comeuppance.
Can we just forget the past?
That woman deserves her revenge. And we deserve to die. But then again, so does she. So I guess we'll just see, won't we?
My code name is California Mountain Snake, and I'm just bad. I got a bad attitude.
And now I'm gonna kill you too. With your own sword, no less. Which in the very immediate future will become my sword.
I've never really played a full-out villain before, So I was really excited when I realized what a badass she was. I just love the idea of getting to play such a tough and physical character as well.
I might never have liked you. When in fact, I despise you.
She's got a problem with the bride because the bride used to be Bill's girl and now she's Bill's girl.
Elle, you're going to abort the mission. We owe her better than that.
Oh, you don't owe her! She really wants to be the one to finish her off.
Thought that was pretty funny, didn't you? Word of advice. Don't you ever wake up. She is ice cold. What's cooler than cool, right? Cool. Yeah. What's cooler than cool? Elle Driver.
Daryl's sort of the opposite number in that she's an extremely dirty fighter, you know? So when the two of them finally collide, it goes down to a very low level.
The fight between Daryl Hannah is like the big fight of Volume 2. And it's the fight that has to kind of top the House of Blue Leaves, not in grandeur, but like in emotion, all right? Because you want to see these two fight, all right? You want to see her kick Elle Driver's ass. It's dramatic and it's satisfying, and it's brutal. What do I call it? The War of the Blonde Gargantuans, you know? Two Amazonian chicks just beating the hell out of each other. Uma done the Pai Mei sequence already. And so by the time she fought Daryl, she had fought Gordon Liu twice in two different characters. What? Yes! What? The character of Pai Mei is not an original character. He was in a bunch of Shaw Brothers films before. And so the thing is, Gordon Liu, he had already played the head of the Crazy 88, and he loved the character of Pai Mei from reading the script. And he's the king, he's the man, he's the master killer. 36 Chambers of Shaolin. It's actually considered like maybe one of the top 3 or 4 old school kung fu films. And not only that, there's also this wonderful iconic filmic symmetry. Gordon Liu fought Pai Mei, the real, the character Pai Mei, in a couple of movies when he was younger. So now it's kind of cool. He's older now. Now he was always the hero. Now he gets to be the bad guy. Now he gets to play the villain that he was always fighting against.
So, allow me to impart a word to the wise. Whatever Pai Mei says, obey. If you throw any American sass his way, he'll snap your back and your neck like they were twigs. And that will be the story of you.
If you're my age, you grew up with the TV show Kung Fu. TV show Kung Fu was one of those series that happens every 3 years that becomes like a pop culture phenomenon. And those series stars are almost like rock stars for like a little bit of time. David Carradine was a total rock star.
Bill's the part of a lifetime. I was, a couple of days ago, we started shooting this scene. And Quentin, takes you aside and talks to you about the scene. And he said, I think this is the best scene in the picture for you. And I said, I think it's the best scene in my whole career. Uma is having a wedding dress rehearsal, and she hears his flute music. Doesn't know whether it's in her head or if it's really happening. She comes out, and there I am, and we have this very romantic reunion. This moment, I'm looking at the most beautiful bride these old eyes have ever seen.
Why are you here?
Last look.
Are you gonna be nice?
I've never been nice my whole life. But I'll do my best to be be sweet.
Just about everything that happens in this picture is Quentin's idea. I brought the flute to the workouts in LA, and I would play it every morning. And he dreamed up the idea of using it in this scene. You know, it's the first time you see me, and it's the flute that tells you that I'm about to appear. And the flute I'm using here is one of the flutes from the Kung Fu series. Quentin likes these homages.
What's cool is for like an entire generation who doesn't know about Kung Fu, doesn't know about Death Race 2000, all right, doesn't know about the Long Riders, he won't be David Carradine. He'll be Bill.
Do I look pretty?
Oh, yeah.
The way he'll always be Kwai Chang Caine to me, he will always be Bill.
There's a nobility about Bill, and at the same time, he's, you know, one of the most evil people that you've ever met in your life.
Was my reaction really that surprising?
Yes, it was. Could you do what you did? Of course you could. But I never thought you would or could do that to me.
I'm really sorry, kiddo. But you thought wrong.
You know, I did 11 Shakespearean plays, and that guy writes pretty good, too. And Quentin is top of the heap for me.
Cut!
All right. This, I heard you were driving a truck.
My pussy wagon died on me.
The pussy died.
I've always thought Michael Parks is one of the greatest actors in the world. I think he's just as good as, and every bit as good and as talented as Dustin Hoffman, or Harvey Keitel, or Robert De Niro, or Al Pacino, or any of those guys. I'd cast Michael Parks to play the character he plays in Vol.1, Texas Ranger Earl McGraw, which is his encore performance. It's the exact same character he plays in Dusk Till Dawn.
Get my hands on them crazy, sick fucking bastards. Payback time. I mean,
This ain't no squirrely amateur. This is the work of a solid dog.
So he's cast in that role, and then we have the script reading, where all the actors all sit around a table and you read the script from beginning to end. And so what happens is you have all these like little tiny parts that you're not bringing those people there, so you just like, hey, you take this one, you take that one. Sometimes people can't show up. So I had actually cast somebody to play the character of Esteban Vallejo, the Mexican pimp, who was Bill's first father figure. And so what happens is that actor that I had cast couldn't make it, all right? And so I go, hey, Michael, would you take this part? And so he took it, and he was so great reading it. He was so terrific. I said, okay, pay that other guy off. Michael's got the part.
I must warn you, young lady, I am susceptible to flattery. How may I be of service to you?
I love the idea of him being in both movies. I love the idea of having the same actors play different roles. Just make them, just really give them real good character stuff. All right, and I did that. And it's one of the best scenes in both movies, as far as I'm concerned. I wasn't trying for this, but it kind of does have this weird Sam Peckinpah meets almost Apocalypse Now or something. I mean, I could almost imagine Martin Sheen's boat going upriver and stopping at a cantina, and Michael Parks' character would be there. I mean, wouldn't be inappropriate.
If we have met when I was back in business, you would have been my number one lady.
It was pretty cool. That's Uma's last scene she did, acting scene, in the movie. And she's such a badass in that scene. It's like she's been playing the bride so long, she was no longer playing the bride. She was just the bride, all right? And she goes toe-to-toe with him. It's terrific.
What were we talking about?
Bill. Where's Bill?
Volume 1 was mostly like Japanese samurai and Hong Kong kung fu films and stuff, with a little bit of spaghetti western. Here, this is much more the spaghetti western. That was kind of the whole idea, is that Volume 1 would be more like a kung fu film, be more from the East, all right, and Part 2 would be more from the West, all right, but in particularly spaghetti western operatic, view. But, there's still the most full-on old school Shaw Brothers sequence, in both movies is in Volume 2, and that's the whole Pai Mei sequence that we shot exactly like a Shaw Brothers film.
Okay, still rolling, come back down, let's do it again, quick!
There's some of those auteur critics that are like, wow, this is really cool. He's kicking up his game visually, and it's even more cinematic and more command of style. And he's proving he can do action. He's throwing his hat in the ring with the big boys and everything. So that's one group. Then another group is like, whoa, wait a minute. What's this direction? I like the dialogue. I like Quentin's dialogue. I like Quentin's characters. What happened to that?
The amount of venom that can be delivered from a single bite can be gargantuan. I've always liked that word, gargantuan. I so rarely have an opportunity to use it in a sentence. Quentin loves movies so much, and he's just enjoying every second.
Fantastico! Fantastic! Fantastic!
That was the bomb. That's a great thing.
Bomb is good.
That was excellent. That was excellent. Let's do one more. All right, we'll turn around.
I open the script, what am I going to see? It's literature. And it's worked out to the last possible detail, and that's how he directs. Nothing is left to chance. Everything is completely worked out.
He hits you, and you just boom, just like straight down.
Okay.
Cut. Great. Excellent. Check the game.
In the script, actually, the fights are described in detail. Basically, he designed the fights. He basically was the choreographer. When he first talked to Yuen Wu-ping about him coming in and doing the picture, and that was an idea he had. Why not have this guy from Crouching Tiger and Matrix, that did all these wonderful things. And he, went through a lot of stuff with Wu-ping, and Wu-ping said, what do you need me for? And the truth is that he doesn't need anybody else. He could probably make these movies all by himself.
Something about Quentin's sensibility, that he creates his own world, he creates his own style. And with his combination with Quentin and the master, it's just an exciting, different style that you haven't really seen before.
Volume 1 was like the first time I'd ever used any kind of like original music in the movie, and it was the RZA, the Wu-Tang Clan. So now, when it came time to do Volume 2, RZA's still on board, all right, and does a few moments in there. But Robert Rodriguez approached me, Robert's been doing the scores for his movies now for like at least the last 4 movies, if not longer. He came up to me and goes, you know what, Quentin, let me write a score for you. I want you to have that experience, so you know what it's like, all right?
And I said, I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. I want to be involved in that movie. I'll write you a score for free. If you like it, you can keep it. If you don't, it's good practice for me. So he said, free score, all right.
How can you say no to that?
So I started scoring before I even saw the footage. I just would score to the script, figuring how he might shoot it. He came back to me and said, the second movie's more emotional, has a lot more dialogue. He just let me run at it. And some stuff he had real specific ideas for, and other stuff he just said, give it a try.
Robert's music is fantastic in it. It's been such a great experience working with him. Some people are like, so you want to do that again? And I go, maybe with Robert. Maybe I'd do it again with Robert. I don't think I want to go find anybody else, all right? But Robert's my best friend, so it was like so much fun.
Quentin isn't just a director, he's a collection.
He was the only one in the world that could make the picture. He couldn't give this You couldn't give Kill Bill to another director and say, make this movie, because they would probably be too afraid. He's the only one that can get away with it, let's face it. God bless him.
It certainly is an intensely sort of empowered female movie.
It's mind-boggling.
Kill Bill is kung fu, samurai, revenge, kick-ass, chick, take no prisoners movie.
Pretty cool, huh?
Baby, you ain't kidding.